It all began quite innocently. My wife Rachel was always outgoing, thriving on attention, a trait I never minded. She had a laugh that could light up any room and drew people to her like a magnet. That was one of the things I fell in love with. But over time, her craving for validation crossed the lines of our marriage. One Saturday night we hosted a dinner party, something Rachel adored. She insisted on managing everything herself, the cooking, the decor, even who sat where. It was her domain and I happily let her take control. We invited some close friends including a few of her colleagues from work. Among them was Derek, a cocky guy with a smug grin who carried arrogance in every movement. I didn't like him but Rachel insisted he was harmless. The evening started off great. Wine flowed freely, conversations grew louder and laughter filled the room. I was in the kitchen topping off glasses when I overheard Rachel speaking quietly with her best friend, Emily. Their voices were hushed, but Rachel sounded giddy, almost proud. "Have you seen Derek? That man is a god," she said, giggling like a teenager. "And Emily, he knows exactly how to use it." I froze. My heart hammered, my hands went numb. The words hit me like a blow. Surely I must have misheard. But then Emily gasped sharply, confirming it. "Rachel, are you serious? What about James?" Emily whispered in horror. "Oh please," Rachel scoffed. "James is great but boring. Predictable. Derek, he's something else. And he's huge. James could never." She let the sentence trail off, the implication cutting deep. I couldn't breathe. My wife, the woman I'd spent 10 years building a life with, was boasting about an affair in our own home, during a party I helped organize. The humiliation was staggering. But I didn't confront her right then. Instead, I walked back into the kitchen, placed the wine bottle on the counter, and forced myself to think clearly. I didn't say a word that night. I played the perfect host, laughing and joking with everyone, even Derek. But inside I was unraveling. I needed to know the full truth before I acted. The next week I became obsessed. I scoured phone records, emails, anything I could find. What I uncovered confirmed my worst fears. Explicit messages, photos, secret lunch meetups. The proof was undeniable. But I wasn't going to confront her just yet. No, I wanted her to feel the weight of her betrayal. I wanted the world to see. I planned every detail meticulously. I hired a private investigator to gather irrefutable evidence. I discovered Derek had a wife, Lisa, who'd recently had their first child. I contacted her anonymously and shared everything. She was heartbroken but grateful for the truth. Together, we decided the revelation had to be public, unavoidable for both Rachel and Derek. 2 weeks later, Rachel hosted another dinner party. She was radiant, completely unaware of what was coming. I made sure Derek was invited. He showed up with his usual swagger, flashing me a grin as he entered. I fought every urge to confront him then and there, waiting for the perfect moment. Halfway through the evening, I tapped my glass to get everyone's attention. "Everyone, a moment please. I have something important to share." Rachel beamed, likely expecting some heartfelt declaration. The room quieted as I pulled out my laptop and connected it to the TV. "Rachel has always been the light of my life," I began, my voice steady despite the storm inside. "But recently I learned she's been sharing that light with someone else." Confused murmurs spread. Rachel's smile faltered. "James, what are you talking about?" she asked nervously, laughing uneasily. I ignored her and hit play. The screen filled with screenshots, texts between Rachel and Derek. Explicit, undeniable, and brutal. Gasps erupted. Derek's smug expression vanished, replaced by panic. Rachel jumped up, face flushed. "James, stop this right now," she pleaded. But I wasn't done. I saved the worst for last. The investigator had photos of Rachel and Derek at a hotel, locked in a tight embrace. Time-stamped, crystal clear. The room erupted into chaos. Whispered shock and disbelief filled the air. Emily looked as if she might be sick. Derek's wife Lisa, my invited guest, stood up, furious. "You disgust me," Lisa spat at Derek. "You lied to me and our family. And this is how you repay me." She pointed accusingly at Rachel, who was now sobbing. Derek tried to speak. "Lisa, please let me explain." She wasn't having it. "Explain? You think there's an explanation for this?" Then she turned to me. "Thank you for telling me. You've done me a favor." With that, she stormed out, leaving Derek scrambling after her. The room fell silent, all eyes on Rachel, who was a wreck. She turned to me, voice shaking. "James, please let's talk privately." I shook my head. "Privately? You bragged about him in our home during a party I helped organize. You humiliated me without a second thought. Now you face the consequences in front of everyone." She collapsed into a chair, covering her face with her hands. Any sympathy she might have hoped for was gone. Our friends were too stunned, too betrayed to feel anything but shock. In the days that followed, Rachel tried everything to win me back. She begged, cried, and even blamed me for being boring. But I was done. I filed for divorce. When it came to dividing our assets, I made sure the world understood why. She lost friends, respect, and the life we'd built together. Derek didn't fare much better. Lisa took him to the cleaners in the divorce, and the scandal destroyed his career. As for me, I'm moving forward. It's not easy, but there's a strange peace in standing up for myself. I refuse to be anyone's doormat. While Rachel and Derek are left to pick up the shattered pieces of their lives, I'm building something better without them.